tonight's review is brought to you by Squid Juice Cider.
Squid Juice Cider.
Mm-hmm. It's better than other brands, which don't pay us to advertise themselves. But YouTube lets you do it now. So
if you want to,
consider it. Don't ask for much.
We're not obliged.
I mean, a 6-pack a month, that's all I ask. I think that's pretty reasonable. Okay. I'm making demands here that can't be met. Very reasonable. Very reasonable.
It's true.
Okay, so Matt.
So well, we this is the first video review since single video review that we've done since never mind.
It's been a long time.
Well, of independent film.
Mm-hmm.
The last one we did was, video review was probably the very first video we did, which was The Chemical King. Back in 2008.
Something like that.
8-ish.
So it's very special privilege, Matt. But it's largely because we have been in development hell, which is par for the course for these productions.
See.
And we pretty much dropped the ball, and we felt like to make it up to you, the least we could do is give you a video review of Nuclear Neighborhood in addition to the standard written spiel. So, you're welcome. You're welcome for us messing up.
Because in turn, you get double the coverage.
You get double the coverage, and we will not tear you a new one. Probably. You don't know. You got to watch till the end to find out. But, you wanted this, so you remember that. You sent us the movie. We made no guarantees other than we would probably watch it within a year, and we failed to do that. So you had to send it to us again.
Yes, and for that we apologize. But yeah. So this film we made was 2014 film, was released in 2014 at least. And
Nuclear Neighborhood.
Nuclear Neighborhood.
Filmed in Montreal. We have an international film entry.
Is this our first international film that was submitted to us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, and there you go. First one.
Moving up in the world. Moving up to Canada.
Yeah.
Canada, eh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry it took so long, Matt. I couldn't help it. I can't help it.
We're sorry.
I'm sorry.
I promise we're not really assholes.
We're not really assholes.
Most of the time.
Patrick's the asshole. He's a Patriots fan, so that makes him an asshole. Okay. So, what did you think? I've got a list here. I was very impressed. There were a lot of things that stood out to me.
I didn't know what to begin. I remember what to even begin thinking of the film because it took lots of different twists and turns that I wasn't expecting. But I enjoyed the thing that stood out with me most in this movie was the music. The music was just top notch. I mean, it was really good. It helped set the mood, and
very grunge.
It was grungy, and it was synthy. It reminded me a lot of like a Carpenter vibe to it on some of the scores, so it was really cool. The story was interesting too. I liked the fact that it was almost like a throwback to like a, I don't know. It was a house. It was like a house in a neighborhood, but then again, it seemed like a fun house in some ways with the different twists and turns. And if you go in this door, there are all these different things in the way and traps and everything. And at the end, I liked the cliffhanger ending with the possibility of us maybe getting a sequel.
There could be a
and
sequel.
Everything. So
what would you call it? I mean, we've already got Nuclear Neighborhood. I'd have to say it would have to be like Nuclear Village. I mean, you got to go up.
Village or
you got to go up.
Yeah.
I mean, you escape from New York, you escape from L.A. You're supposed to escape from the world. But you know what, Matt? You can break the cycle. Don't pull a Carpenter. Finish it. Finish it.
Make the trilogy.
Make the trilogy. make the trilogy, and then you can make a box DVD set.
But see, yeah, I mean, you know, it was a really good horror comedy. I liked the Bud character. He was pretty cool and fun. And you know, from that you could, you know, if you had a sequel to that, you could go off. You could have a Bud baby.
Yeah, I mean, Bud and Lizzie obviously hit it off. I think there's really a potential there for some little mutant babies.
Yeah, it's endless. But so what's some of the things that you liked about it?
So, I mean, I just kept a running list here. I mean, there was a lot of great stuff here. One of my favorite quotes that I've pulled from an independent film came from our last movie, and it was "Fill me up, I'm a test tube." And we continue this mad science vibe here, and there's a lot of great one-liners in here, and
There was.
I really enjoyed the Lizzie saying that the reason why we don't call the cops is because she's going to barf all over the place because she hates cops.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. That's good.
You know,
That's good. We don't want barf all over the place. I don't want barf all over the place.
No,
that's just unhealthy.
And if there's ever a situation where you feel like you need to call the police, you know, you totally shouldn't. If one of your friends says no, I don't want to see the pigs. So
don't be a narc. Don't be a narc.
Yeah, that's.
We went to school with one of those, and they were the worst. They're just the worst. And I don't apologize for saying that because it's the truth. You're terrible. You should feel bad for everything you did. The other thing I liked, it had this total like reject Scooby-Doo vibe.
Yeah.
And these guys were less competent than the gang at its best. Because we all know Fred wasn't in it for the glory. Fred was in it for Daphne. Shaggy just wanted to get baked. Velma was the only one that did any work. Okay? Sure. So, first thing is you never split up in a house. You have no idea what's going on in. So they break the cardinal rule there. CGI.
Oh yes.
This is the first. This is the first independent film we've had that had actual After Effects work in it, and I mean we gotta give props to that. We haven't even figured that out.
We haven't attempted anything yet. So yeah, I mean kudos to you guys for doing it and doing a pretty good job at it too. So.
And also observations here. We have, you know, fish nets are obviously required for investigating a house, breaking into somebody's house, courtesy of Lizzie. No alarm system, but you don't determine there's no alarm system until you've already been in the house for a few minutes. And that's important because sometimes there's silent alarms you're not going to know until the cops show up if you triggered something. So, you know, it's pretty bold. It's a pretty bold move to just walk in there and expect there to be no alarm system. But it worked out for the gang, I think, pretty well.
And something else I enjoyed was the fact that no matter the situation, no matter it being them discovering a head in the kitchen or Eugene being handcuffed to a bed, or them discovering, or the two guys discovering Bud, you know, they just roll with the punches. They don't really, you know, this very just, you know.
They act like they've seen all this before. I mean, Matt,
Bud. I mean,
Matt, you're letting me down if you're holding out on me here, and you've got like an entire. If you're pulling a Star Wars on us, and this is like the third in a series, and there's like 2 movies before this that should have happened explaining this. I mean, come on, man, don't hold out on us. These guys act like they've seen it all before. Okay, I want to know what they've been into because apparently this whole neighborhood is a disaster.
So yeah, there you go. There's some ideas for some prequel films with the gangs.
I mean, we'll just take a modest like 99% royalty on that. So don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. You can just send a check, make it out to cash, and then I've got a couple PO boxes you can drop it in. Just don't involve the authorities at all, please. I also enjoyed the line from Eugene, and he said it smells like somebody's frying a GD chinchilla. That's pretty good. That probably is a horrible smell.
Trust me, I know.
Don't. And another thing that I noticed, I enjoyed it. It kind of came to a running gag. I feel if there's a problem that you encounter, you just shove it back into a closet or a room.
That's true.
That was good.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to deal with things. That you just kind of repress it.
Tuck it away. And
you just keep tucking stuff. You just shove it under the rug. You
deal with
shove
it
in
later.
the closet. You deal with it later. Maybe burn the house down. They don't have problems anymore. I mean, it's a totally healthy way to deal with your issues. I mean, you never have to work anything out if you destroy it.
It's true.
I mean, I should be a licensed psychologist. I mean, I don't know. It's really easy there. You know, there was a lot of environmental themes.
Yeah, it's the pollution. And at the end, when
Dan was very concerned about the radiation, the fallout from this explosion that was going to happen here.
I mean, because he won this little spew at the end when he was like, really.
And I wasn't expecting that because he was just not very passionate about anything. He was really down to business. He was like, all right, we got to get Sandra. We got to get out of here. You all didn't even tell me, you know, you were in trouble. You didn't listen to a single damn word I said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm Fred of this operation. I'm in charge. I wear the ascot. I'm in charge. And, you know, he's in there. He's pulling, you know, needles out of his leg, and everybody else is hanging out with Bud.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on. He was passionate. He cared about what he was doing.
And then I totally expected the three of them to get their rings out and call
Captain Planet call it up,
because you know as soon as Dan found out that the radiation was polluting the air, he got a little bit more concerned about everything.
I think Ted Turner perked up there for a minute. I mean, I thought he was going to bust through the door at Kool-Aid Man. I mean, you just don't know. Don't know.
That would be the sight.
Another thing I enjoyed was the fact there was a parallel here between the professor when he set off the detonator, he turned off the coolant, and his laugh. It reminded me, the first thing I thought of was the first Predator movie. At the very end, when he sets his little detonator off and he goes, and I was like, yes, that's exactly how you should go out
and
if you're going to kill yourself with a giant bomb.
And he had a hell of a laugh too.
He did. He had a good laugh.
It was a really good maniacal laugh.
He has a strong career in evil science, in mad science fields. You know, Bud opening bottles of his eye socket. That looked like a pretty real thing. You know, that'd be pretty impressive. I know people can do that. I don't think I've ever seen it like on film.
Or what? Yeah, that, or they could have like had it already off somewhat, and it was still it looked
like he opened the bottle with his eye socket. I know it had two different takes, but it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good. I like that. You know, obviously there's a sequel being hinted at here, and you know, I honestly feel like this movie itself was a sequel, and we're not being told something. So I just don't know. I don't know. If you're holding out in this, Matt, you better not be, because I will hunt you down. I will find you, and we will finish the rest of these movies.
Yeah, I also agree. I hope there is a sequel, because I actually really enjoyed this film. I went into it blindly and took it. I rolled with all the punches.
In all honesty, we took a year to warm up to it, so I think it was good. We finally took care of business here, and it was well worth finally taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you don't make any more of these, then I'm gonna barf all over the place, because you're a terrible person, Matt. I mean, this is supposed to be a review for everybody, but I'm calling you out. This has become personal. And if you don't give me more of these, I will never forgive you. Like, you're going to be on my list with John Carpenter if you don't get this done.
Hey, which
that is bad company to be in, because he's almost dead. And he hasn't given me what I want. I want a Halloween 3 sequel, and I want Escape from the World. I don't think it's too much to ask for. You know what I want from you? I want Nuclear Neighborhood. I want spin-offs. I want sequels. I want prequels. And then I want a whole new franchise not related to it, and then you reboot it again. So I don't think that's. I think you should just make that the rest of your career. Just forget everything else. Just go into this, because this right here, this is some cult stuff you're working on.
Yeah, it could.
The music is fantastic.
Yeah.
We need to get some music connections like that for our stuff. So we might need to talk about that on the side. But legit, very fun.
Mm-hmm. It was a
very
movie.
Fun.
Perfect movie for
perfect.
a Saturday night if you want to order some pizzas and just chill with some friends, have a good time, and watch a hilarious horror com.
And like I said, the only problem I had with it, there inconsistency with some of the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little dark, a little fuzzy in some spots, but I totally get equipment. I totally get, these low light situations suck on most cameras. That's not a knock. But if you could find a way to clear it up a little bit on some of these scenes, I mean, everything else was fine.
Yeah.
Special effects were great, better than things we've done. Music was fantastic. I mean, I can't even begin to. I mean, you got all these bands. I guess you know all these guys. I mean, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
You did that.
And it was.
You kept it simple. I mean, you didn't have a bunch of actors and stuff in there. I mean, maybe overemphasize some of the plot points sometimes. But you know what? If people aren't paying attention, that's their fault. You should tell your story, man.
Yeah.
Because you got potential. It's all there. I can feel it. I can feel the radiation from this, and it's beautiful. It's like it could almost be the beginning of Mad Max is what we got here. You should just go with it. So I would say I would give it a solid. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 because I like it. I think I would definitely watch it again. I think it's one to keep on the archives, and it may be a little too much for people who aren't used to watching
independent films,
B movies, indie films.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've done this before, if you've seen this kind of stuff, this is definitely watchable.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. If you want to give it a chance, it's great. If you want to give it a chance after a few beers, even better. Don't worry about it. It's fantastic.
Yes, and
I don't know, Matt. We'll figure out how you're distributing this. I mean, I don't know if it's available, if you can rent it, or what you're doing with it. But we'll figure that out. Because I mean, if people are interested in watching this, we definitely recommend. If you can get a hold of it, it's worth seeing at least once. And share it with all the people. There's a lot of people like these kind of movies. I mean, there's a market for this. So,
Tim Gross, I'm gonna send it to you. Tim
Gross. Yeah. Tim would like it.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for sending it in, man. And I'm sorry it took forever to get it done, but we got it done. And we didn't totally blow it up, No.
No, it was a great effort and great effort. It was a great film, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun and had some. I liked some of the composition, some of the angles.
Yeah. There were some very good camera angles. I would say that. I liked the one scene in the kitchen under the table, and then it kind of panned to the eyes. They had the cut.
That was a great sequence.
That was a good sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's better than most of the stuff I've done. So that's how you can tell. So I mean, I give it my stamp of approval. So like I said, I give it a solid 3 out of 5. Definitely watchable. Would watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Recommend it if you're a B movie fan. What would you give it, Pat?
I'd probably give it, but I'd give it a solid 3 too. It was fun, enjoyable. I liked this. I liked the story. The only things I really can critique on constructively would be just like like we talked about earlier, the lighting, which is that's just trial and error. You just learn that as you go. The only other thing would be the pacing a little bit. There's some stretches where it like in the beginning the pacing was a lot faster, and then when they get to the house it slowed down a whole lot. And it wasn't bad. It was just something I noticed. But yeah, overall it was really enjoyable. I liked it a lot. Loved the music. Loved the just the feel of it. It felt like a really it
was like Toxic Avengers or something.
It felt like a trauma film, like a trauma, just something you'd catch late on a Saturday night. That's a gym. So yeah,
Joe Bob would throw this up.
Joe Bob would
throw it up, or Shatner would be doing this in the Friday night. Don't sue me, for God's sake, Shatner.
Charlie Day, don't sue us. But yeah, so
he won't. He's good. He's
good.
You subscribe to Full Moon. You're good.
Oh yeah, I'm a Full Moon subscriber.
You're good.
For sure.
But William. Oh, Bill. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know. Leonard's dead. Bill's on the loose. Stay frosty, kids.